KSJE is supported by the Farmington Civic Center, bringing a full slate of entertainment to Farmington and San Juan County. The interactive art of Artrageous, Saturday, May 21st at 7:30 p.m. The Farmington Civic Center, 200 West Arrington in downtown Farmington. Find out more online at fmtn.org/shows or 505-599-1148. Eleven minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Tuesday morning, the 10th day of May, 2022. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Michlin. Thank you for tuning in to KSJE. Usually we'd be on 90.9 FM, but this morning we are not because our crews are doing some repair work on our tower here in Farmington. So you can stream us, of course, and that's hopefully how you're hearing my voice this morning, at KSJE.com, or you're watching us because this is a community-supported visual radio station with the video streaming out live this morning to the KSJE Facebook page, YouTube channel, and Twitter account. So we're glad that you are with us this morning, everybody, because coming up, one of my very favorite guests in the world, Jamie Church, is here from the Farmington Chamber of Commerce. She has lots to talk about with me, so that conversation begins in the next few moments right here on KSJE. And then later on this hour, I'll be checking in with Amber Francisco over at the Farmington Regional Animal Shelter. She will be telling all of us about Blush, the good-looking dog you see on the screen right there. So join us for that later on at 8:50 a.m. online, of course, or on our video streaming platforms as well. Next hour, Mick Hess will take us roving with the arts. Mick is continuing his Hope Not Hate series about music composed during the Holocaust, and this week he is talking with Francisco Lotorio, playing music from Francisco Lotorio, one of the men who's been trying to compile a lot of this music that was composed during the Holocaust in World War II. That's coming up today, 9:06 on KSJE. Don't forget, we invite you to connect with us on our Instagram page in addition to Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. And if you're a podcast person, I hear that's the latest rage these days. Podcasts, all the kids are doing it. You can check us out and subscribe for free to KSJE Podcasts wherever you listen to podcasts, places like Spotify and iTunes and iHeartRadio and Google Podcasts and Pandora and Amazon Music, and much, much more. Subscribe and maybe discover a new program that you may have missed recently and take us with you on your travels this summer. Outside our studios here at San Juan College, it is mostly sunny this morning, 59 degrees at the moment. We're expecting a less windy day, which I think is significant. The high today, 83 in Farmington, and just described as breezy, not windy. 83 for a high today, but the winds should pick up again overnight tonight with a low of 50 degrees. Windy again tomorrow with a high of 83 on Wednesday. Again, those gusts up to 40 miles per hour by Wednesday afternoon. Windy Wednesday night with a low near 46. Things may calm down and cool down a bit on Thursday with a high of only 69 degrees. 36 clear skies Thursday night. 77 on Friday, warming back up to the mid-80s on Saturday. Upper 80s for Sunday, Monday, and on into early next week. And with that being said, let me introduce my guest who is here with me this morning as we're both bemoaning our dusty, dirty patios this morning from all the wind. Jamie Church is here. You have half of Arizona probably stacked up on your patio.
Oh, my goodness, I do. And I'm so pleased that you said I was one of your favorite guests. That made me
one of my
so
favorite
happy.
guests, because you've been here for as long as I think I've done the show.
Actually, yeah.
In all your
my
various...
my years at Child Haven.
Right.
And then, so here, yeah.
You probably get a watch or something.
I feel like I should. Yeah,
right?
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. And yes, I think we are all feeling the effects of the wind with our dusty houses and dusty patios and dusty plants. And
we're used to it in the spring, but I think enough is enough. Mother Nature
has gone
really
on a little long. So, but I'm pleased to see in the forecast it looks like one more windy day tomorrow, and then it should be clearing up. I'm looking at that 90 next Tuesday.
How about that? I know.
Yeah, we're getting up there. So anyway,
time to get the coolers going and things like that. But yeah,
exactly.
So, but Big week for the chamber,
Yes,
of course. I know
yes.
that you are somewhat involved with the Oil and Gas Conference. You are
Yes.
the fiscal agent for that. The chamber
Correct.
is.
Correct.
And so we want to just push that's coming up tomorrow, isn't it?
Starts tomorrow, and
Right.
I had Tia Camacho, who's the conference coordinator, and Felina Thompson on with me last month, and so they are part of the committee and the organizers for that oil and gas conference. And yes, it is tomorrow and Thursday out at McGee Park. If you just want to come out to see the vendors and see what's going on, there's no charge for that. You can come out, wander around, look at the vendors. So that I had a couple calls about that at the office. So yes, you do not have to pay to get in if you're just walking around. So anyway, I will be going out there later today just to check it all out and see if there's any last minute things I can help with. And then it does start tomorrow and through Thursday. And just to remind the listeners, this was actually it's an every other year conference. It was supposed to happen in 2020,
right.
and then we all know why that didn't happen. And
Yes.
so so actually we've had a 4-year gap now between the 2018 conference and now this year, 2022. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Right. And certainly a
with
lot
the
of
changes
things-
in the industry.
I was just going to say, a lot of big changes in the industry, a lot
Right.
of things that folks are kind of watching for. Of course, we've
Yes.
got record high oil and gas
Yes, right
prices at the
now.
moment.
Right.
And these guys are looking, it's kind of like giving that long range look, that strategic
Right.
look as well, I think, of how
Well,
the
and
industry is going.
the industry, but also the things like we're looking at, hydrogen and solar and sustainable and technology. I mean, there's a lot happening in the industry. And so it's going to be interesting to see, not just with this year's conference, but in 2024, when we get around to the conference next time, just some of the changes in the industry. But so I welcome you if you want to pop out and see what's going on. We know that even with all the work we're doing to diversify our economy, that still energy is a big part of what the economy in the Four Corners and the basin and the region is. So we definitely want to support these oil and gas companies and energy companies that are out there. So
Very
stop by.
true. Very
Yep,
true.
so that's going on.
That is happening, right? Exactly. One big thing. And then a couple other big things, like
Yes.
chamber events, right?
Yes.
Are happening
So
as well.
We have a big event every year that's called our Music by the Pond, which is kind of our membership celebration where we celebrate our chamber members and small business owners and large business owners in the area. And we are still having that event. It's in July this year, July 8th. Music by the Pond, we have live music with after midnight and a barbecue and things. But this year thought it would be fun to add on a golf tournament. So we have a Tees and Tunes, that's T-E-E as in a golf tee.
Got it.
And tunes as in music. So it is a golf tournament at the San Juan Country Club. And you can start with a barbecue lunch at the club, and then it's a scramble, and then 18 holes, and then it ends up at the Music by the Pond event. So if you are a golfer and you want to put in a team, we still have room for about 8 to 9 more teams, and then we'll be full. But you can contact us at the chamber and put in a golf team. And then the cool thing about that is the 4-person team, each of those people gets a ticket into Music by the Pond. So you end up at Music by the Pond, and then you just hop off your cart, and you're right there where the barbecue and the live music, and we have a really fun shipping contest I will talk a little bit more about next month.
Okay.
And because I
So
want
as
to
we say in the business, stay tuned.
because I want to get some people on with me next month to talk
Okay.
about that whole
All right.
thing, that shipping contest on hole number 9. But so anyway, that is a really big event. Now, if golf is not your thing and you're like, I just want to go to Music by the Pond,
Right.
you can. The tickets are $50 each, and that includes the dinner, and then there will be a cash bar and some games and the live music and
Music,
dancing
right.
and all of that.
Yeah.
So that you can just contact us at the chamber or go to our website, which is gofarmington.com, and right on the homepage there's a link you can get your tickets. This is one of our most popular events, and
Right.
it really is just such a fun night. It's at the country club outside by the pond at the 18th hole, and it's just really a fun night. So if you want to get a group of friends together, or you have a business and you're like, hey, let's get a table, it's just really fun. So
Very nice.
Yeah,
Tickets
so
on
that's
sale
going
now,
on.
right? Tickets are
yes,
available now.
tickets are on sale.
And probably will sell out.
Yeah, last year we had a limit of, for Music by the Pond, we had a limit of
Yeah.
200. And this year we actually don't have a limit, which is great.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, we're thinking around 250, 300 people would be max for that area.
Sure.
So definitely don't
Okay.
wait and get your tickets.
Well, and I remember last year's event. I think it was one of the very first events that we were able to
Yes.
have together
Outside, right,
with
because-
people
because
that
it was
weren't in our
outside,
family.
and it was- right.
And so
Right.
it was a great, that I don't know if that just made it more special that we were able to see everybody and see people we haven't seen in maybe a year or so.
Yeah.
But if you didn't get to last year's,
Yes.
this would be a great opportunity to
And
see
it, and it really is just a beautiful evening and such a fun time. So just please, if you want to get tickets, contact us and we'll help you get those. And then we have some other things coming up. You mentioned oil and gas is this week.
Right.
And then next week we have our Focus on Farmington coffee, which we do every month. And it moves around in different locations. But I'm so excited to actually be having
that
it
lady.
at my space. I know, the Quality Center for Business. We moved from downtown
Right.
Farmington to San Juan College in October of 2020. We made that big move. And so we are now in the Quality Center for Business, and I've been wanting to have a coffee there.
To show off your new space,
I know,
right?
and so
Yeah.
finally we had an open month where I could have a coffee at my own space.
There you go.
So the Quality Center for Business is located at 5101 College Boulevard, so it's right on College. Doing a little bit of road work right now, but you can still get into the Quality Center. And we'll have our coffee. And again, this is a free coffee open to anybody in the community that wants to come. This is not just strictly a chamber event. Doesn't matter if you're a chamber member or if you just moved here. If you're listening and you have just moved to the area and you're trying to get connected and find out what's going on, perfect opportunity to
Right.
do that. So the coffee is at 8 a.m. It's on a Wednesday this time. Normally I do them on Fridays, but with graduations coming in May, and a lot of people are busy on Fridays as they have company coming in and getting ready for graduations, we thought we would do it on a Wednesday.
Okay.
And so it'll be right there at the Quality Center for
Right there it
Business
is.
and
That's it.
8 a.m. and it's free, and we just hope you will turn out. So
Okay. I'll make a
that's
note that
going
as soon as I
on.
get done with the show, I'll run over there.
Yes,
So maybe I
run
can make
over.
it because it's right
Run
there.
over, yes,
Literally
run
down the
right
street
over.
from us here at KSJE.
It's
So-
a very positive thing.
Yeah, very positive thing. So again, that's one of the things I'm again glad to be able to do more of as
Yes.
we get back to doing some of these community things.
Yes, and
so-
then we've got the schedule. I'm trying to think of it all in my head.
Right.
We have a business after hours at the Manchester Agency on the 26th of May, and we'll have more information coming out about that on our Facebook page and also through our newsletter. And then we have a lunch and learn coming up also on the 26th, presented by one of our newer members, which is VTAC, but they're doing, they do trainings for businesses on workplace safety, being prepared. You know, none of us like to think about it, but we know it happens where somebody comes in and there's a sometimes life-threatening situation in the workplace.
Sure, some kind of conflict or whatever, right?
You know, we've heard about these kind of situations. And so they do trainings for businesses on what to be prepared for, how to train your employees to know what to do in those type of situations. So very important knowledge. And these lunch and learns are free. They're sponsored by the Chamber, and they are also at the Quality Center for Business. So we do ask for an RSVP just so we know about how many people are attending. It's a brown bag. You just bring your own lunch. And they go from 11:30 to 1, and the first 20 minutes is just a lot of great networking. So you can get around and meet some people and other businesses and perhaps potential clients for you. And then the lunch and learn is always great information. So again, that is on the 26th as well. And you just need to contact us at the Chamber, send us an email, and we'll get you down for a seat. But so that will be on the 26th. So just what you said, a lot of things are starting to happen.
Yeah.
And I don't have anything to do with Riverfest, but that's happening again
It
this
is,
year.
right.
And
We're actually thrilled to be a sponsor of Riverfest
Yes,
this year.
yeah.
So,
So-
that's exciting.
I know people have really missed that event,
Yeah.
in particular the last 2 years. So I want to encourage people that if there were events that you do as part of your family tradition or your thing, you really look forward to Riverfest every year, and now the last 2 years you haven't been able to go, and they're coming back, please support them and go, because it takes a lot of volunteers and man hours to put these events on. And just because you've kind of gotten out of the habit of going in the last 2 years, now they're back. So support them, go, buy tickets, and let the organizers know that this is important to you
Right.
and that you want to see it continue. So
I think that's good advice.
that's my little plug.
Very good advice. Very true. My guest this morning, Jamie Church, is here. She is the president and CEO of the Farmington Chamber of Commerce. A lot of events that are happening. I know you're already talking about the Women's Summit, which is
Yes.
happening in the fall.
Yes.
But you have a lot of guests lined up that I was noticing on your Facebook page the other day.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. So our Women's Summit is October 12th and 13th, and last year it was just a hugely successful event. And so we've already started putting out the information on our speakers, and you can buy tickets. Tickets are $75 for the day event, the day summit, and that's the early bird price. After, I think, the end of August, they'll go up to, I think it's $100 after that. So you want to get your tickets early, again, through our website, at the chamber, or contact us. You can get a table for if you're a business owner and you want to send your team. This is a women's summit, but it's for anybody who wants to attend. And our theme this year is reinventing yourself, as we've all done through our lives multiple times. I don't know if you have, but I mean, I have.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, all of us have.
Right.
But
what's an old TV guy supposed to do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess, you put cameras in a radio studio.
I know.
That's
exactly.
what you do.
That's what you do. You reinvent, you reimagine.
Right.
And through the last couple of years, a lot of people had time where they weren't working, or they were working remotely, where they kind of did a lot of soul searching, or just sort of like, what is it I really want to do? And with having the technology now for location neutral and being able to work,
True, right.
I just met at our business after hours last week. I met a composer who does a lot of his work in Los Angeles. He's a composer for some pretty major films, and he's now living here in Farmington and working remotely because he can. And that is the great thing about technology. It allows us to do that. So we're so locked into having to live in one certain area or another.
And I think we're getting a lot of people new to the community like that,
right,
who maybe come from other places and still work in other places, but live here.
Exactly.
Choose to live here.
Choose to live here, and which is great.
Yeah.
And so
that's why we do.
That's why. Yeah.
That's right.
We already know it's a great place to live. But so anyway, a lot of people had some time to think about their current career, or maybe did they want to make a career change, and so reinventing themselves. And so we thought that would be a good theme for the summit this year. And we have a great lineup of speakers, everyone from my good friend Shelley Whitfield, who is the Chamber of Commerce director in Wetumpka, Alabama, to Sugar Singleton, who's a doctor here in Farmington, New Mexico, to one of my friends from years, Dara Blackwater, who is an attorney, a Native American young woman who is an attorney, and just a great lineup of speakers. And the summit includes a morning networking muffin and coffee session. It includes the lunch, a really cool tote bag, which we're designing right now, and then all of the speakers, the networking sessions in between, the networking session the evening before, which will be at Connect Space with a kind of VIP reception at Connect Space.
Okay.
And I mean, it's just a full day for $75. And I mean, that's a deal.
Right.
I always say if you were in a larger city going to a conference like this, it would be a lot more than $75. So, but don't wait again to buy your tickets. We have a limit of 400 on this in the ballroom. That's about the capacity at the Civic Center. So we are going to be maxing that out. So if you think you want a ticket, or you're a business owner and you're like, I want to be a sponsor of this, or no, I want to get a table, contact us and we'll get you all set up on that too.
Okay.
But yeah, you
Very
don't want to
good.
miss out on it.
True. And this is in October.
October 12th and 13th. So, and then in between that, we'll also have Chili in October.
Oh, yeah, there's
which
that.
will be October 1st, which we haven't, I mean, we have the date and we're working on the venue and all of
Right,
that, but we haven't
right.
actually geared too much up on that, but that's also happening in October. So, and then it'll be the Christmas parade. I mean, the whole
See?
year.
I
Just
know
like,
how this is how it goes.
well, when
right?
you're busy, your whole year is just already on your
planned
wall.
out for you.
It's planned out for you.
Yeah.
And so it might be May, but we're already thinking about things in December. So
Right.
that's how you get it done in the chamber world.
That is how it happens. That's true. And it's amazing, I think, for a lot of folks to just kind of think about, these events that we haven't been able to enjoy, and now they're coming back, and
Right.
we're being more, we're busier and doing things, and, and a lot of these people that make it happen, people like you and your committees and your
Right.
volunteers, as you mentioned, all the Riverfest people, just people that make these things happen in our community,
Right.
which is great.
Well, just graduation. I mentioned
Yeah.
graduation. Let's just remember that it wasn't that long ago when there were no graduations and kids were doing
We were doing remote
the
graduations.
virtual
That's right.
graduation, and it was, those kids in 2020 that didn't get their graduation. But here we are able to have graduations again, and so life is sort of returning to normal, but with a twist. I
Yeah.
mean, we have. Zoom now, that everybody's still, we're doing Zoom meetings because we've realized that's really practical and really handy to do Zooms. And we have the capability now to work more location neutral. And we've known that people are still leaving these larger urban areas where it's expensive and congested and, crowded. And they're moving back to their hometowns or smaller towns. We're still seeing that trend.
Right.
Obviously, the real estate market is still really tight in San Juan County. Now, that might change a little bit as interest rates begin to go up. That might
calm down a little bit, but who
calm that
knows?
down a little bit. But we're still seeing that with a lot of people moving in and the inventory of homes being slightly low. So,
but I think, again,
overall,
interest rates are going to be high everywhere.
Yes,
or going up everywhere. So it's not just a local phenomenon.
No,
so, I think that's just the way that it's going at the moment.
Right.
And if people are still looking to change their location, I think we're still on their radar because
exactly.
here we are, and we see that in the inventory numbers.
Right. And we're a great place to live. Now, wind, notwithstanding the wind. It's
Yes.
been unusual for anybody who just moved here going,
right.
I thought you said the weather was great. It is great. Just been a little windy.
That's right.
If you're a fan of flying kites, though, if that's your hobby,
There you go.
This is your place.
We
should do a huge festival and just get everybody out with their kites.
That's very true.
That would be great.
And you walk outside, you get an instant facial.
Instant facial.
See,
So
that should
little
be
sandblasting.
that
of
should
the
be in a
pores.
poster somewhere.
That should.
Jolt your journey,
Jolt
instant
your
facial.
journey. So
You're
just-
welcome, Convention Visitors Bureau.
Just to you're welcome, Tanya.
There you
And just a reminder too of some of what the chamber's doing without behind the scenes on all these events. Because it sounds like, gosh, all you do is these networkings and coffees. There's a lot of other things going on too. We do a lot of work with advocacy. So we're watching what's going on with laws that affect business, with policy that affects small business, things that are going on within New Mexico and the country that affects small business.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things coming up that I'm going to be trying to get some information on to share with our members is the paid sick leave. So there is a new policy with paid sick leave that's going to be coming into effect. And I encourage you, as any business owner, to attend a webinar or a seminar or check with the SBDC, which obviously we have an SBDC run right here at San Juan College.
Small
in the
Business
Quality
Development Center.
Yes, thank you. Small Business Development Center.
Right. It's literally in the building where you are.
It is, with Carmen Martinez. Reach out and get the information on the Paid Sick Leave Act, because whether you have full-time employees or part-time employees, this is something you need to know. And if you have policies or procedures about sick leave or paid time off for your employees, you may have to redraft those to modify them for this new paid sick leave. And this is something that was passed in the legislative session, and it does, if you have even part-time employees, for every hour of work, for every 8 hours of work, they accrue 1 hour of paid sick leave time. And that sick leave can be used for, it's very broad about what that sick leave, it doesn't necessarily mean that employee is sick. It's very broad about how they can utilize that.
Or family member, I guess,
Family
or something.
member,
Right.
like mental health. I mean, it's very, very broad.
Sure.
So you really need to consult with your HR department, or like we mentioned, the Small Business Development Center. There's a lot of webinars that are going to be coming out, but be proactive and find out what it is, because it affects everybody from somebody that has, 2 employees to somebody that has several hundred employees. But that's one of the things. I'll be attending a town hall on that June 8th so that I know more, so that I can pass that information along to our chamber members.
And that is something that is unique at the moment to New Mexico. Other states may be doing it as well, but this is a state law that was passed that will affect businesses in Farmington and Aztec and Bloomfield and everywhere across the state.
Right. And some businesses I have already a very liberal and very comprehensive paid time off package or policy, but they need to make sure that that is working with the new paid sick time. So just find out. And that's one of the things that people with the, that maybe you're outside of the chamber world or thinking we're just running around doing a lot of ribbon cuttings and things, but it's actually trying to get information that we're passing on to our chamber members to help them as employers and as businesses know what's going on. And
Right.
it's a lot of work.
Old saying says, ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Right, exactly.
Right?
And
So
you
you
better
can't
know
say-
this, and you better make sure that your policies and procedures reflect it. And we may be doing another Lunch and Learn. We did one recently with Janet Hebby with Hebby HR Consulting, and we may do another one with her on
Right.
just paid sick leave, because we know that people want the information. We just did one last month on cybersecurity, like 5 things you should know when your employees are sending emails and getting information from different sites, and what to look for if maybe you've been hacked. And that was a really interesting Lunch and Learn too.
Oh, sure.
There's so much out there, and so we try as the chamber to present this and offer these opportunities. They're usually free. It's great, really good resources, and we don't really charge for them. So please take advantage of that and know what's going on, because especially with the cybersecurity stuff, if you have a little bit of prevention up front, like a policy with
Right.
your employees on being on social media and things like that, it can really save you money over the long haul. Because
True.
I picked up a virus a couple of years ago on an email. I answered an email real fast, clicked on a link. I was rushing, wasn't paying attention, and man, did that virus went on and on and on in my emails for months before
Ugh.
I finally got rid of it. And just a little bit of time,
Right.
and I would avoid.
Well, and these days, everybody has an online presence. Everyone
Yes.
has a website. Everyone may be doing online ordering or things
Right.
along that line that maybe they weren't doing just a couple of years ago.
Right.
And so all that increases your potential
Right.
vulnerability, I guess.
It does, exactly. And I learned a lot of things in that Lunch and Learn that I was not aware of. So, there's some, again, great programs out there, great resources, and not just from the Chamber. Our Convention and Visitors Bureau, we mentioned them earlier, does a really great customer service training.
Right.
And for your employees, and that's been a really good thing for all of the small businesses. We're trying to bring people into the area, whether it's through tourism or retirees or visitors, and having everybody go through a customer service training is just really helpful.
Right.
So that's through the Convention and Visitors Bureau.
And I would think that really, I'm
No,
sorry
no,
to
you're-
interrupt, but I was
you
going to say,
should.
I would think that type of a training is a real investment in your people.
Yes.
And it really does reflect back positively on your business. Because
Yes.
if I go into your business and have a good experience and your people are treating me with good customer service, then,
Right.
I'm more apt to go back. If I'm a visitor, if I'm a tourist and I have good customer service, again,
Right.
I think some people will say, well, when I travel to X city, I'm always treated very well or whatever. And but when
Right.
I'm here at home, maybe not so much. And, why can't we have the same levels of customer service like
Right.
we encounter when we're elsewhere?
Well, and it is an investment in your employees and your business.
Yeah.
And so I think, the customer service training, excellent through the Convention and Visitors Bureau. One of the other things is our Jolt Your Journey action team, and I head up the Live Committee, which is part of what we do, the coffees, and it's all about all the great things about living here in Farmington. And that is also a committee that anybody can be a part of. We meet once a month on the first Tuesday of every month, and so the next one will be June, whatever the first Tuesday in June is, and it will be at the Farmington Museum. And it's a great way to find out what's going on, the community events that are going on, and it's you can get the emails on that again by contacting the Convention and Visitors Bureau or the Chamber. I've got the information at the Chamber, so you can call me at 325-0279, and I'll make sure that you start getting those emails and you can be a part of that. But
Great.
that's just a whole group of people in the community that are promoting what's going on, sharing events, and that's just one small piece. So for everybody listening out there who's just like, what's going on? What's happening?
There's nothing going on.
There's a lot going on.
There is a lot
And
going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all you need to do is make a couple phone calls, and all of a sudden you will be in the loop of all of it.
Right.
And so anyway.
If you think there's nothing going on, you're not paying attention.
Yeah, there's
You
a
really are.
yeah,
That's
that's
true.
exactly right. You're not
So,
paying attention.
There you go.
But
Wonderful.
anyway, that was a lot of information.
A lot going on. That's true. Well, and it's great that you're here to tell us all about it and the involvement of the Chamber and the events that are happening.
Yeah,
coming
well,
up.
Again, there through the Chamber you can find out what's happening. The website is gofarmington.com. We have a newsletter that goes out twice a week on Wednesday and Friday, and you can subscribe to that and find out what's happening. There's a number of great fundraisers going on. Mac
Zero
and
Mile
Cheese-
Fun Run.
The Zero Mile Fun Run.
You got to mention the Zero Mile Fun Run.
Yes, there.
May
Plug for
21st.
that,
May 21st. Benefits KSJE right here at San Juan College.
That's
It is 0 miles. Literally, Jamie and I are training right now.
We're just training.
By
This
sitting
is our
here.
training.
Yeah.
0 miles.
That's
Perfect.
it. There you go. $15.
So
$15.
that's going on, And
You
then
mentioned Mac and Cheese.
Mac and Cheese Fest is coming up again, and that'll be in June.
Right.
And, some of these events had to change when they're having them. I know the Boys and Girls Club, they have a golf tournament usually in May at Pinion Hills. Well, obviously, Pinion Hills Golf Course is under some very necessary
some improvements and renovations.
Going on, renovations.
Yeah.
So they're moving their dates around. But, keep supporting. If you've always supported it, keep supporting it. And a lot of great things going on. Walks and 0 Mile fun runs and Mac and Cheese Fest and golf tournaments and Teas and Tunes and Music by the Pond.
That's right.
And we have to do these things because this is part of how we generate income for our organizations. And for the chamber, these extra things we do are non-dues revenue. Most of our budget is made up from our chamber members. Thank you, chamber members. We couldn't do it without you. But we do some other events too that help sort of support that through the non-dues side of that. And they're just important, but they add to the quality of life in a community, having all these great events. They help support the nonprofits, help support the programs that go on, whether it's the art walks downtown or, as we mentioned, Riverfest. Connie Mack will be coming up before we know it. San Juan County Fair will be coming up before we know it.
True. All those
and
things.
These events are all getting back to normal. Oil and gas tomorrow and Thursday out of Moody Park. So these things are starting to happen again. Life is beginning to get back to normal. And I know I'm grateful for it. So anyway.
Very true.
Thank you.
Well, and all those things, again, and just like this radio station relies on, support from businesses and residents who appreciate that you get to come on once a month.
I know.
And talk about chamber stuff, and other nonprofits come on, and that's what we do. So
that's right.
It's been a great community, great partnership. So
I want to give one more plug for my coffee because there's one important thing I forgot to say.
Okay.
So it's the 18th at the Quality Center, but the first 40 people get one of these super cool free key rings.
Keychain that you made, yes.
I didn't make it. The Big Idea Makerspace made it.
Yes.
So Big Idea Makerspace, which is located at the Quality Center, is something that is open to people even if you're not a college student. So we're going to be giving some tours of the Makerspace and all the amazing equipment. And they are making these little key rings. And so the first 40 people get one of these really cool little key rings that has a little coffee mug on it.
Right.
And I forgot to mention that.
Okay.
So
Good to know.
that is the 18th, Wednesday the 18th, 8 a.m.
Okay.
And it's free.
Very good. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
Good to see you. That's Jamie Church from the Farmington Chamber of Commerce, my guest right here on KSJE. San Juan Regional Medical Center is your community hospital, committed to making life better for the communities we are privileged to serve. In fact, better is our mission, improving lives through personalized health and care. What matters most to our patients matters most to us, offering a comprehensive range of inpatient, outpatient, and emergency care services so you can get the quality care you need right here at home. San Juan Regional Medical Center, celebrating life better here since 1910. KSJE and San Juan College present the Student Success Coaching Tip of the Week. Week 16, finals, finals, finals. Don't let the finals week become a nightmare of stress and anxiety. Get prepared and conquer your finals with these final steps. Start early. Create a study schedule and stick to it. Prioritize your study time. Some exams may be harder than others. Attend the review session. Ask questions about the exam and study for the style of exam. Create a study guide and make flashcards. Take breaks and stay well rested. Quiz yourself, or better, have someone else quiz you. Show up early for the test. Visit the tutoring center for additional support. The Student Success Coaching Tip of the Week, presented by KSJE and the Student Achievement Center at San Juan College.